Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take your source material and really dig into the most important nuggets of knowledge.
That's right.
Today we're plunging into language mastery, specifically English. You've already looked at learning on the go, building routines, staying consistent.
Yeah, all the groundwork.
Exactly. But now we're tackling that big question, the one every learner hits eventually. Am I actually getting any better? So this deep dive, it's all about how you can genuinely measure your progress, break through those, frustrating plateaus, and finally make English feel like, well, just a natural part of you.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how often learners feel stuck, even when they are making progress.
Totally.
Our source material here, it gives some really concrete, actionable ways to not just see that progress, but to fundamentally shift how you relate to English.
Shift your relationship. I like that.
Yeah, moving beyond just studying it to really living in it, which does raise a question for you listening. How do you currently track your learning? Or is it more just hoping for the best?
That's such a common feeling, isn't it? Just hoping you're improving, maybe without really knowing for sure.
Right. The hope strategy.
Yeah. And our deep dive really gets into moving past that. It stresses that seeing progress, it's not just, an ego boost.
No, definitely not.
It actually keeps you motivated. It helps you learn faster. Yeah. And this material lays out 4 really powerful ways to track fluency meaningfully.
Okay.
First up is something called the monthly check-in.
Okay, this one's interesting. It's about self-reflection, but also tangible evidence.
Tangible evidence. Okay,
yeah.
How does that work?
So every month you answer 3 key questions, in English, of course.
Right.
What did I improve this month? What's still difficult for me? And what's one moment I'm proud of?
I like that proud moment one.
Yeah, it's important. And there's an optional step, but it's really effective.
Oh.
You record yourself speaking on your phone, maybe. Same topic each month. Then say after 3 months you listen back. Compare the recordings.
And you'd actually hear the difference.
You really would. You'll hear the fluency, the confidence. It's powerful proof.
That's great. Concrete, audible proof. But sometimes progress feels subtler. Like you feel it before you can measure it, maybe.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly into the second way. It's about understand more easily.
Okay, unpack that.
It basically means noticing you're struggling less with comprehension, that feeling of getting it more often.
Right, like things just click more.
Precisely. Can you watch a video now, maybe without subtitles or fewer subtitles? Can you listen to a podcast like this one without hitting rewind quite so much?
Good point.
Or do you catch more phrases in songs, movies, chats you overhear?
Yeah, those little moments.
If you're nodding along saying yes to those, well, that's real significant progress. Your brain's processing English more efficiently.
That makes total sense. It's less about reciting grammar rules and more about just effortlessly interacting. That feeling. Okay, what's the third indicator?
The third one is about think faster. This one's more internal.
Inside your head.
Yeah. It's about how long it takes you to form a simple sentence. Like, I'm going to the store after work.
Okay.
When you're getting fluent, the source says it feels almost instant. There's no, mental translation step. No stress.
Bypassing the translation.
Exactly. Are you hesitating less than you used to? Are you searching for basic words less often? That's your brain literally rewiring itself, building direct English pathways. It's a pretty fundamental shift.
Wow. Okay, that's a deep one. And for those of us, who like to do things, maybe learn by writing, there's a 4th method mentioned.
There is, and it's really practical. It's called write and compare.
Write and compare.
The challenge is straightforward. Just write a short daily diary. Doesn't have to be long.
Like how short?
Just 3 to 5 sentences. In English, obviously.
Okay, manageable.
Then, after 30 days, you go back and reread your very first entries.
And you'd see the difference on the page.
undeniably. You'll visually track how your vocabulary grew, how your grammar smoothed out, the flow of your thoughts. It all improves naturally.
It provides that clear visual proof of growth. Love that.
It's right there in black and white.
Okay, so let's say you are doing this. You're tracking diligently, maybe seeing some improvement, but then you hit a wall.
The plateau.
Yeah, that feeling of just not getting any better. It's super frustrating.
It really is. But the material assures us this happens to everyone.
That's comforting, at least.
It is. And, crucially, it tells us what to do about it. Plateaus aren't failure.
Okay.
They're usually a sign that you need to, shake things up a bit. A shift is needed.
All right, so what's the first strategy for shaking things up?
Strategy 1, change the input. Simple but effective.
Change the input, meaning what you watch or listen to.
Exactly. If you only ever watch the news, maybe try some stand-up comedy.
Okay, different style.
Totally different. Or if you're only drilling grammar, switch to reading interviews or blogs. If you only read, try focusing on speaking more.
So expose your brain to something new.
Precisely. New input forces new connections. It stimulates different learning pathways.
That makes a lot of sense. Just changing the scenery for your brain. Okay, what else can you do if you feel stuck?
Strategy number 2 is join a speaking community.
Interaction.
Yes. This deep dive really emphasizes this. Even just one conversation a week can break a plateau surprisingly quickly.
Really? Just one?
It forces you to actually use the language in real time. Retrieve words, form sentences under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's different from passive learning.
Very different. So explore things like language exchange apps, online speaking club.
Or even just online comments.
Sure. Commenting in English on YouTube, Reddit, wherever.
Yeah.
That active interaction, it wakes up your learning energy.
Okay, good tip. But what about those days when you just don't have the energy? Even changing input feels like too much work. Motivation is low.
We all have those days. And the third strategy addresses that. Take a rest day in English.
A rest day. Sounds counterintuitive for learning.
A little, maybe. But think about physical exercise. Rest is when muscles repair and grow.
Okay. Analogy makes sense.
Our brains consolidate learning during rest too. So on a low energy day, don't push for hard study.
So what do?
Just enjoy English without pressure. Watch a favorite movie you already know, but in English.
Okay.
Find a funny TikTok or reel in English. Listen to some chill music with English lyrics you like.
So it's still exposure, but passive, relax.
Exactly. It's still English, but the pressure is off. It allows for that gentle integration without active effort.
I like that. Gentle integration. Okay, this all seems to be leading towards something bigger.
It is.
The material talks about a final goal, not just learning English, but actually living in it.
That's the ultimate aim, yes.
So what does that really mean? How do you make that massive shift from study subject to just how you live?
Well, it starts, interestingly, with an identity shift.
An identity shift. How so?
The source encourages you to literally change the words you use. Stop saying, I'm studying English.
Okay. So what do you say instead?
Start internalizing and saying things like, I use English every day, or English is part of my life, even I am an English speaker.
Wow. That feels bold, maybe.
It can, but words have power. As this deep dive points out, changing your self-identity can genuinely change your results.
Reframing it from a task to just part of who you are.
Exactly. It shifts the whole relationship.
That's actually quite profound if our words shape our reality. Okay, so you make that identity shift. What's the next practical step?
The next step is to actively use English to live life.
Meaning, bring it into everyday activities.
Precisely. Integrate it not just into study time, but into your actual existence. Learn about your hobbies, gardening, cooking, fitness, whatever you love, but do it in English.
Use English for things you already care about.
Yes. Follow your favorite creators or influencers, but the ones who speak English. Watch videos on life advice, productivity, motivation.
All English.
All in English. The material explains that pretty soon you realize you're not really studying anymore.
You're just living, using the language naturally.
You're just living your life, but in a new language.
Yeah.
It becomes seamless.
That really does sound like true fluency. Not a separate chore, but just how you navigate the world. Okay, is there a final piece to this puzzle for reaching that natural, integrated state?
There is one final crucial piece. Keep curiosity alive.
Keep curiosity alive.
Yeah. The source suggests asking yourself little questions daily. Like, what new word will I stumble upon today?
Oh.
Or what interesting expression might surprise me? Or even just, how can I enjoy using English right now?
So approaching it with wonder, not obligation.
Exactly that. Staying curious, staying excited. That's presented as the real secret to lifelong, effortless fluency. Keeps the journey fresh.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot. You've gained some really incredible insights, I think, from this deep dive.
Oh.
It's not just about learning grammar points, but truly embedding English into your life. You've got practical ways now to measure progress.
Those check-ins, the feeling it.
Yeah, strategies to bust through those plateaus.
Changing input, connecting with others.
And maybe most importantly, that mindset shift, making English a natural part of who you are.
And the beautiful thing, as the material really reminds us, is that you don't need some perfect environment. You don't need to live in London or New York.
Right.
And you definitely don't need to be perfect.
Right.
It's okay to make mistakes.
It's part of it.
It absolutely is. The real journey is just about keeping going. One video, one conversation, one new word at a time.
Every little bit counts.
It really does. That effort compounds in ways you might not even realize at first. We're genuinely proud of how far you've already come just by engaging with us.
Absolutely. So here's a little something for you to think about after this deep dive. A takeaway thought.
Okay.
What's one small, enjoyable English activity you could weave into your life today? Not as a study task, but simply as a way to live, explore, and be curious.